Hello there everybody and welcome to the first episode of Season 3 of the Banner of Shadow. So in the previous seasons we have built up the fortresses of Sandwalds and Rockhold. So you guys have had a really good time on the poll that I've put up, and the Season 3 fortress will be one that is all about fetching creatures for our empire. So there was the idea of mine that we could go into a good biome, and look what I found. I have found untamed wilds, or joyous wilds, here in the north that also happen to yield a little bit of nickel. So we're going to go in Season 3 for a fortress that will procure creatures for our new empire. The good biome here fits very well into the narrative as well, because, what's better than hiding from your enemies in a good biome? These evil goblins, they will surely not find us here, or their influence must be much, much weaker. So, the fun part here is we have joyous wilds of many different qualities. We have marshes, shrublands, and savannas. I decided to go for a biome like this here that offers us nickel, on one side of the map that is, and, well, the tropical shrubland biome on the other side, so we gain the best of two worlds. That nickel, well, it is not the best of all metals, but it'll suffice. So here begins the story of TAMEWILD, the home of beasts. So I will embark here. I find this a really, really good spot to begin with. We have no direct water available, but that doesn't matter. We also have sand and flux-stone if we ever happen to need it, so this will be fun. So I have prepared a setup here already. So we're going to have miners, obviously, a woodcutter, a carpenter, a mason, and a planter. Two of these guys are good in handling animals because, that's just what this whole story is about. We are starting with the basics, bit of cloth. I went for a bit of extra metal, lots of extra seeds, the picks for everybody, the battle axe that we need to start woodcutting, a bit of raw green glass, a few extra buckets, a few extra ropes because these never hurt, and animal-wise we started with a couple of dogs, sheep, and goats. Everything else will come on by over the course of time. So I cannot prepare the names. I don't know why, so I'll do that off camera and we'll see each other on the site itself. And here we go. There we are. TAMEWILD, the home of beasts. This place here is located on this side is this biome. I think it was the prairies of silk, and on the other side is, well, there's still the prairies of silk, but the biome border is clearly here. This is the savanna biome, and this is the shrublands biome. Wonderful. So, site-wise, I like what I see so far. We have a hillside meandering downwards. That is really nice, because we can get ourselves a really good fortress in there. That's really lovely. So I'd say we go right here into the mountain. Papaya trees are warm. Why is there warmth warning beyond? I am dumbfounded. Anyways, strike the earth. Why do we have a... Wait. Alright, why is there an elephant? Don't know. I do know one thing. Elephants are native to our culture. I could bring them on every caravan, but we don't have the embarkation points for that because elephants are stupidly costly. Wow. Okay. That is that's an elephant. So our plan is working out really nicely already. So there's rhinos. Whoa. So yeah, we have picked the right spot to embark on, right? So first things first, we have to get ourselves a safe way downstairs because, we have to get the animals into safety and we have to get our own cargo into safety. Those rhinos, well, I don't think they'll be attacking us right away, but I don't want to take any wrong go. Cassiterite. Why do we strike cassiterite here? This place is an enigma. We go in here and we immediately find tin. That was not even on the embarkation whatsoever. Nice. Our muck smiles upon us, as it seems. So let's dig our way into this area here so we can pasture our animals safely. I did expect to do a pasture down here, but obviously there are other plans. Not bad, not bad at all. So we're going to make the stockpile for the expedition's goods down here, so all our items can be stored down there before the rhinos pilfer them. So, the local authority I named the Guild of Handling, because I feel like this is just such a fitting thing. So this season's goals will be to set up a fortress that has a lot of wild animals and successfully tamed and trained. I really don't know as of yet how much effort this will bring up, so I will keep the goals vague in that end. Obviously, we also want to have a fortress fit to that purpose, so that will be very, very interesting to go for as well, because it's going to be a fortress that will require lots of pasture space. So I'm really, really looking forward to making all these things happen. So first off, let's dig deeper. I really need to know where the borders of this place are. So, and also as it happens, there seems to be no cave moss whatsoever here. So yeah, as easy as it has been in the previous fort, this time it won't be that easy. So we're going to assign our animals all to this place here first. And we're going to put a animal training zone in here as well. And let's see, I want to have these trained to war, and obviously a war elephant is also a thing that we can do. I want to see that. So yeah, obviously other things apply. I keep up the embargo on cage traps. So cage traps are only going to be used when we want to catch animals. That's what they are good for, nothing else. We will not use them for the sake of guarding our fort. That is not allowed. We also want to procure in this season items of the good biome. So ideally, I want to have a sunberry farm. I don't know yet how that works and all, but I've heard that in good biomes there are sunberries, which are the really, really most amazing beverage that is known to dwarven kind. So that's one thing on the to-do list. And beyond that, well, I think that's enough goals. Set up a nice culture of animals, set up a good fort, and set up an industry of the good biome items, namely feather trees and sunberries. So if you have any good ideas what we should achieve in this series, let me know. I'm all ears. Okay, so let's see. We have our first dive already pretty much completed, and this place is teeming with cassiterite. Unannounced cassiterite. What could be better? We also have obviously brought these into war elephant status super quickly. We don't have a breeding pair though, which is kind of sad. Elephants are mighty. They are among the strongest animals in the game. Fun. All right. So I am going to go and do a expeditionary dig. And so we go down here and see how deep down we can go before we get wet feet. So, more cassiterite? Jeez, this whole dolomite layer is so peppered with cassiterite. That is wonderful. We'll have so much metal at our disposal. This is really, really good news. So I think we're going to widen this corridor like that. Nothing's worse than just a very, very narrow corridor. And we're going to be chopping some trees. So I will be using what we got here as good as we can. So first off, let's set up a proper meeting area here so we can dislodge the wagon. We could use a couple of workshops to begin with, and since this hall seems to be entirely useless as it is right now, we're going to set up the workshops that we require over here. So that'll be the still, the kitchen. Reminds me to forbid our plump helmets to be cooked. There we go. The rest should be fine. We also want a carpenter. Since we are chopping trees, we are obviously going to make good use of these. A stoneworker. And a crafts dwarf and a mechanic. These are what I call the usual suspects early on. You really can utilize these workshops so darn well. And yeah, they're hauling dolomite boulders over here, which is by far not the most easy way to do it, but I don't mind. So we're gonna connect that ops here like that. And let's make ourselves some rock blocks just right from the get-go, so we will have something to build with. We're also going to get ourselves a chair, because I will use as much wood as I can. I don't care about agitated animals. Alright, we're also going to go for a couple of standing orders. We want no automatic web collection so far. We want people gather the outdoor remains because that is bothering me. If not, we don't want to claim other dead. We don't want children to do chores. We want only the farmers to harvest, and I think this should be okay. Alright. So these things are all ruled out. Let's prepare the dive. So if we get lucky, we're going to have just the... yeah, we can just carve it all out. Nice. It's conglomerate, so we don't need to replace the walls with anything. We can just smooth the walls and we're good to go. This is, as far as aquifers go, a very, very lucky coincidence. So, since there is always a dwarf of the day in my stories, there is today Doran Goldensling, the expedition leader, and I think she deserves the first spotlight here. So, who are you, Doran? Personality. She is unfriendly and disagreeable, and she is bothered by this since she values friendship. Alright. She's prone to strong feelings of lust. She can easily fall in love or develop positive sentiments, and she sometimes acts with little determination and confidence. She tends to form only tenuous emotional bonds with others, and she's quick to form negative views about things. She tends to assume the worst of two outcomes will be the one that comes to pass. She has an active imagination and she could be considered rude. Oh yeah, I agree. Though she finds rules of etiquette to be valuable in the abstract. She tends to ask others for help with difficult decisions, and she's not particularly interested in what others think of her. She enjoys the company of others. I'm really surprised she does, and she generally acts with a narrow focus on the current activity. She has an active sense of humor. Alright, at least some redeeming quality. So she likes alabaster, steel, moss opal, fungi wood, cabochons, helms, scepters, buckets, river otters for their fluffy faces, and single grain wheat for their beer. Wait a sec. Alright. When possible, she prefers to consume parsnip wine, and she absolutely detests rats. Welcome, Doran. So this flock of main characters will receive this prefix. We have had different prefixes in the previous seasons, so here we go. I paused the game for a moment because I don't want a aquifer drop being unmaintained. That's never a good thing. Okay. We need to keep smoothing the walls right as we dig down, but this is not much of a big deal. Sadly, this also means that the conglomerate that I personally like as a rock, it's nice brown, is not too available. But, well, who needs conglomerate if you have dolomite in abundance, as we do? And as it stands right now, I'm very, very inclined to check out the dolomite more closely, as it is a good stone to build with, and it obviously yields tons of cassiterite. So, wow, this fort is obviously blessed. So, we'll have to build first a city. That is obvious. I want to incorporate animals somewhat into our defense systems as well, so that will be a fun project to work with too. All in all, I am not 100% sure how this fort will look like. It is really hard for me because I have never delved deeper than the surface into the whole animal taming and training business in this game. So it's going to be very exciting for me as well. So, alright. Obviously, as it stands right now, our brave fellow dwarves here are still working hard on getting a place with dry feet. But we need to break into the caverns as fast as we can. This is really, really important for the entire progress of our endeavors. Oh, I think we broke through. There is a new layer of stone here, and there is a high likelihood that the leaky pot is over here. So this is definitely still Aquifer's area, but this is most likely not anymore. So this is a relatively deep aquifer, which means we will build our civilian pod above of the aquifer. This is always a nice thing to do, as we can this way get ourselves an easy access to a well, and with all the metal around, I want to carve out larger areas of that anyways. It is very, very desirable. So, here, this is the last layer of the aquifer, so we can dig out this way and that way. Alright, so we have breached through that part, and we have gained rock salt. So, well, I'm really sad that you can't use that stuff for anything spicy. It would be fun if we'd had a way to spice our food with this, but yeah, I'm getting ahead of myself. So, step 1, we are going to try our best to dive deeper. We have found yet another aquiferous area here, which is quite bothersome, but well, it could be worse, no? So here goes siltstone. We do see here the biome borders, if you ask me. And let's try and dig down deeper on this side. Let's see, how does it work? Well, no wet feet detected. And the wet feet detector is not going deeper than that. Brilliant. So let's get our way there. And here, this is going to be a probing shaft, 20 levels deep. I'm holding down left shift while pressing, or while scrolling downwards. I want to hit the caverns as quick as possible, because our fort does revolve so much around animal keeping that it would be a massive benefit if we'd be striking the caverns as quick as we can. Simply because, you know, it's just good for us. Here's Gabbro, Diorite, and Tier 2 caverns. So, we get to pause here, and we're going to construct walls and pray to Armok that there will be nothing killing us on our way downstairs. Okay, so the really, really good news about that is that we should now have the capability to make our pastures happen. I do need to keep a keen eye out on that. Okay, brilliant. And now you see the cave moss is spreading. That's what I've been hoping. So I'll keep my animals here for the meantime. And let's see. So this gives us a plenitude of information. First off, here's caverns 2, but that also means that caverns 1, we already passed that. So it's either here in the chert layer or in the gabbro layer. Surely not in the diorite layer, as we can already see that this is the ceiling of this place. So I would bet my horses on the chert layer. So what we're going to do now is we're going to dig into 2 directions carefully. After all this is being done, we're going to set up the production of booze and food, which is also very, very important, but we want to know our whereabouts, if you get my idea. Well, I think I'll leave it like that for now. The most important thing was that we get the food for the animals together. That has happened. So, let's see. We have those dolomite layers that we can really nicely use for all manner of different fun stuff. We obviously are going to search now for the tier 1 caverns, but I just decided that this is no endeavor that is super important or any pressing matter. No, we have what we needed. What we do need now is organization. TAMEWILD needs food, drink, places to sleep, all the things that dwarven civilization thrives upon. So let's get started with that. I'd say we totally want to go into this direction. The whole sandstone layer here looks very, very appealing to me. So we're going to do this as follows. I think I'm going to keep this as sort of a main entrance for the time being, and we are going to use this area now as our main city district. I love the fact that we got sandstone. I love sandstone, but usually sandstone is located in the aquiferous layers, and that's why I can't use it. That made me sad several times in the past. So what we're going to do now is let's put down the chair into an office. So let's dig out an office here at the same time. And we do need a door, so come on, a wooden door. Let's do this. It's been a while since I've been generous with the usage of wood. Story-wise, I think the Banner of Shadow people will be not too warmly welcomed. I mean, Banner of Shadow. You see what the name already implies. I want to roleplay these guys a little bit like humans. You see on the side of, well, how to put it, being reckless with natural resources and such things. I'm missing the words right now. I'm very sorry. Let's build up the office. So the office is necessary for our manager, which we haven't assigned yet. We have our good friend Doran. She is really, really good at these things. So we're going to put her up to that task. And that gives us a manager. Wonderful. While we're at it, we're also going to get ourselves another chair together. And another door. And we're going to build the bookkeeper's place right there next to that. So let's get that location here locked in, because obviously this will be the location of action here for a while, and I want to have that. Okay, beautiful. We have our base. We have our base already set up. I'm very happy about that. So let's set up another door. Smooth the place. And the first things that I want to call down are the automation of drink, food, and those things, and the necessary goods to produce these. It is always good to have these things nailed down early on. So let's place down the orders. We're going to make drink from fruit and drink from plant. We're going to make rock pots to store the stuff in, although I'm very tempted to make barrels, but one thing at a time. So we're going to make mugs to drink out of, and we're going to make bins to store things in. Although this is not that important. So we're going to make meals. For starters, we're going to work with easy meals because we're not rich people yet. So first off, we are going to keep the number of drinks on a 200. This is not much, but it is a good number to start with, as we are currently not really anywhere close to where things are good for us. We're going to make dolomite mugs, as I think, or dolomite pots. No, not dolomite pots. That makes sense, not pots. Dolomite mugs. As these are a little bit more valuable, this is pretty good for our industries, for our dwarves in general, as I've made the experience that more valuable things have a pretty higher tendency of making people happier. It's just nicer to have a more valuable cup to drink out of. I do understand that. We humans aren't that much different. So, we are going to... Oh no, we're going to do something smart. So, we are going to pick up the pan pasture here and repaint it over this entire area. Then we use the eraser and erase it from over here. Voila. Just like that. And we're going to repaint the animal training area over here as well. And erase it from there too. And that's that. So I want to have the war dogs no longer on the pasture. They can be roaming. And I have instant regrets. So my war dogs are messing up a honey badger. Don't you know that you don't want the honey badger to lose his cool? Don't mess around with a honey badger, because he doesn't give it. Well, so we got that down. What we don't have right now is farming, but I don't think we need farming right now. So we're going to work with gathering. We don't have anybody gathering either. Wow. So Etor, the planter, is going to be our... not our gatherer. We're going to make the carpenter the gatherer and unassign him from the fisher dwarf's job, because that is just no longer necessary. So we are going to relocate all these workshops later, but for starters, I think this is a pretty good distribution. We want the workshops down here too, but I think to get things started, we are already on a pretty good spot. So let's make some rock doors. And I make them out of rock because they are supposed to protect our fort. And one door goes here, one door goes here. And we're going to build a few walls around this one. Build a ramp. Yeah, this absolutely motley, shaggy, weird-looking wall, but it is also going to protect us. So, well, let's make 2 more doors. There we go. As there is threatening music playing, that's reminding me that this is just a necessary evil. So, there we go. It is going to be looking horrible, but it is going to keep our place safe. Because now we can shut off the access to everything if we ever want to. And this is where the part 1 of our story for today ends. We have pretty much everything down that we need to get the party started, and I'm very, very much looking forward to this. This is a wonderful map, and I can't wait to see how things go down. I want to say Comments go down below, leave me a thumbs up, consider subscribing, and check out the description box where you can find the playlists for all the forts that I've played into the world already, which is Sandwalls and Rockhold. So check them out. There's also Discord, Twitch, and there's also my supporty stuff. Patreon, PayPal, Buy Me Coffee, and most importantly, YouTube channel membership system, allowing you to preview, early view these things that I made. So if you want to binge a while, come on in, spend a dime, and be my guest. Thanks a lot for supporting Icon Gaming. If you are doing so, I appreciate deeply, but if you are not, I appreciate you, especially you watching this video, watching until the very end a lot, really. You rock. I appreciate. Hope you had a good time. See you all on the next one in TAMEWILD.